What happens when the most image-conscious places on Earth stop returning your calls? Is that a travel issue or a very quiet message you're not supposed to talk about? All right, so let's set the scene the way this story keeps getting told online, because it doesn't start with a press release. It starts with whispers. It starts with sources say, insiders claim, someone close to the situation. The kind of phrases that make you lean in and go, okay, who is talking and why now? Because the rumor mill is spinning hard right now. First Dubai, and now people are claiming Saudi Arabia also wants nothing to do with Meghan Markle. Now, before anybody jumps me in the comments, let's be grown about this. A lot of this is unconfirmed chatter. No one's showing up with stamped documents like it's a court hearing. So treat this like what it is, a story that's being floated, repeated, embellished, and used as ammo in the never-ending Meghan discourse. But even as a rumor, it's fascinating because the details people attach to it are very specific, and the why behind it says a lot about how power actually works. So here's the version that's doing the rounds. The claim is that Meghan was turned away at the Dubai border, not delayed, not we couldn't verify something in time, turned away. The kind of thing that, if it's real, doesn't happen by accident. The kind of thing that, if it's not real, gets invented because it sounds like the ultimate humiliation in a status-obsessed world. And then, just days later, the story escalates. Allegedly, Saudi Arabia has also shut the door. Not publicly, not with a statement, but quietly, internally, with the kind of no that doesn't need to explain itself. And if that's true, the implication isn't just she can't come. The implication is we don't want the attention that comes with you. Because look, the Gulf is not Hollywood. That's not a compliment or an insult. It's just reality. Hollywood thrives on mess. People here will literally trend you for blinking wrong. You can be a scandal magnet and still get invited to the party because scandal is basically party fuel. But in places where reputation is treated like currency and discretion is treated like oxygen, the rules change. And that's where the alleged reasoning comes in. People close to this rumor say Saudi decision-makers looked at Meghan and saw risk, not criminal risk, not security threat risk, reputational risk, the kind that makes everyone in the room ask, do we need this headache? And apparently, the word floating around is that she brings noise, too much noise, which, let's be honest, noise is the most polite way to say, we don't want your drama near our brand. And yes, I said brand. I know, it sounds like a marketing word, but that's basically how image works at that level. These places run on controlled optics, carefully managed presence. Everyone knows their role, everyone sticks to the script, and the script is never written in public. Now, the wild part of the story is the claim that her team had been in talks with Saudi officials for weeks, quiet negotiations, back channels, the don't talk about it, don't leak it, just see if it's possible kind of conversation. And then Dubai allegedly happened and it spooked everybody. Because if one major hub in the region is said to have gone, no thanks, the others are going to ask why. People talk. Officials talk, advisors talk, someone's cousin's friend's assistant talks. That's how these worlds work. So the rumor says the Saudis reviewed her history. And again, we're in alleged territory here. But the checklist people keep repeating is always the same. The public clashes with the British monarchy, the lawsuits, the documentaries, the endless headlines, the Archwell controversies people love to argue about, and the bullying allegations that have followed her for years. And if you're sitting in a room where loyalty and discipline are basically the entry fee, the optics of somebody publicly at war with their own royal family might not exactly scream safe investment. There's also a quote being attributed to some unnamed insider that goes something like, "We respect royalty. We don't host people who disrespect theirs." Now, do I know if anyone actually said that? No. Could it be made up because it's a perfect line? Absolutely. It's the kind of sentence that feels like it was written for a trailer. But even if it's just a line, it's a line that explains the logic people are trying to sell, that Saudi Arabia, as a royal system with strict traditions, allegedly wants no part of someone seen as publicly disloyal to her own royal ties.
And that's where this story gets interesting, because it's not really about Meghan as a person, it's about what she represents in the eyes of people who live and die by reputation. She represents unpredictability, and powerful institutions hate unpredictability. Unpredictability is the thing that walks into a room and makes everyone check their phones. Unpredictability is the thing that makes your advisors whisper, "Let's not." Now the story goes even further, and this is where it gets very spy movie very fast. There are claims that British intelligence have maintained quiet diplomatic channels with Gulf nations about Meghan and Harry's movements. Let me say it again slowly. These are claims, not confirmed, not documented, not something you can point at like, "Here's the memo." It's more like the kind of rumor people spread because it makes the story feel bigger, darker, more cinematic. And then, the biggest claim of all, that some kind of warning may have been passed along and that it allegedly traces back to Prince William. Again, allegedly, because I'm not about to sit here and tell you I personally got a text from William like, "Oi mate, heads up, relax." But the rumor says there were private remarks, that he considers Meghan a manipulator, that he's warned people her strategy is to shift blame, stir conflict, and stay at the center of the story. And whether that's real or not, it feeds a narrative that a lot of people already believe, that Meghan is always the headline, always the storyline, always the axis the drama spins around. And in a place where the #1 rule is don't make us the headline, that's basically the kiss of death. So, according to this whole rumor package, Saudi Arabia listened, didn't want the risk, and shut it down. No announcement, no public humiliation, just silence. And if you've ever dealt with powerful people, you know silence is the message. Silence is the no you can't argue with. Silence is the door closing while you are still standing there smiling. Now here's where the story shifts from geopolitical vibes into pure human panic, because the chatter claims Meghan is furious, like genuinely livid. And if you buy the idea that Saudi Arabia was the last real shot, you can understand why. In the version being told, she allegedly wanted a place with money, privacy, and enough power around it to keep the press at arm's length, a clean exit, a reset, the dream scenario, disappear for a bit, then re-emerge stronger with a fresh narrative, a fresh circle, a fresh glow-up. But that plan depends on one thing, being wanted. And the rumor says she wasn't. Instead, she's allegedly been met with denial, being ignored, requests going nowhere. And when you're used to doors opening because your name carries weight, the moment doors stop opening, it does something to your brain. It's like when a club bouncer looks up and down and goes, "Not tonight." And you're standing there like, "But it's me." Yeah, that. So, allegedly, her team has kicked into overdrive trying to regain control of the narrative. More media outreach, more friendly coverage attempts, more pressure on contacts to frame the rejections as misunderstandings, delays, logistics, rumors. And to be fair, that's what any crisis team would do, try to reshape the story before it becomes...
In the story people tell, Harry has gone quiet, pulled back, less visible, less engaged, less we're a united front. And the rumor says he's been trying to rebuild ties with the palace, even if those attempts keep failing. That he's tired, that he misses stability. Honestly, that part doesn't even require a conspiracy theory. Anyone who's watched public life chew up private people knows, eventually, someone in the relationship wants the noise to stop. And here's the thing people keep circling back to. In the Gulf, reputation isn't just a vibe, it's the whole game. So the claim that her name is flagged reputationally is exactly the type of detail that would exist even if nobody ever admits it exists. Not a criminal list, not a legal ban, just an internal note that basically says, proceed with caution, this person brings trouble. And the irony is brutal because Meghan has spent years describing herself as someone targeted by systems, targeted by institutions, targeted by biased press. But in this rumor version, she becomes the person institutions want to avoid, not because of what she says about them, but because of what might happen if she's near them. Headlines, fights, leaks, documentaries, sources close to the situation, the whole machine. Whether you think she's a victim, a mastermind, or a mix of both,
you can't deny one reality. The Meghan story never stays quiet, and the Gulf prefers quiet. Now let's talk about the bullying allegations part, because it always comes back. People love to bring it up. People love to use it as a character verdict. The truth is, there were reports and complaints discussed publicly, and Meghan has denied wrongdoing. Beyond that, the public doesn't have a full, transparent record, so what you mostly get is competing narratives. But in this rumor storyline, the allegations are treated like a shadow that never leaves, like former staffers might go public again, like more stories could come out when the timing is right. And from a purely strategic perspective, if you're a government or a royal court that hates messy headlines, you're going to look at unresolved controversy and go, nope, not importing that. Because here's the key, even if nothing new happens, the old headlines follow you. The moment you land, the moment you attend something, the moment you breathe near a camera, someone will run the montage. The lawsuits, the shows, the clips, the quotes, the insiders say, the whole back catalog. And that's why the Dubai and Saudi rumor hits as a big moment in the story people are telling about Meghan's global brand collapsing. Not because it's proven, but because it feels like a symbolic shift from controlling headlines to being hunted by them. So what does she do if the prestige doors are closing? According to the whispers, her team is allegedly exploring smaller, quieter jurisdictions, places with stricter media laws, places where you can buy privacy more easily, private islands, remote corners of Europe, low-key nations where nobody's paparazzi in your grocery run because there are no paparazzi. But none of those places give what the rumor claims she really wants, prestige. Because the Dubai and Saudi angle isn't just about safety, it's about status, being welcomed, being seen, being photographed in the right rooms with the right people. And if that's what she's chasing, getting boxed out isn't just inconvenient, it's humiliating. Now, pause here and tell me in the comments what you actually think is going on, because I know this audience. Half of you think she's being unfairly targeted, and the other half thinks she's been playing games for years and it's catching up. I want to hear where you land and why. And while you're there, subscribe, because the next phase of this saga is either going to be a comeback attempt or a full meltdown. And you already know the internet will not let it pass quietly. Now the story shifts to what next, and this is where the rumor machine starts shopping for settings like it's casting a movie. Paris gets mentioned a lot, because Paris has the vibe, the prestige, the fashion myth, the photo ops, the idea that you can be reborn there, like you're in a montage, walking across bridges with dramatic music. Italy gets floated too, because Italy is where people go when they want to look effortlessly wealthy and unbothered. You can be falling apart inside and still take a perfect lake photo outside. That's the magic of Italy. Canada comes up because it's part of their history and it has a softer public image, and some people believe it would be an easier environment to rebuild. But here's the uncomfortable point. If major hubs truly don't want you, the list shrinks fast. And international reputations are harder to manage than Hollywood gossip, because Hollywood will still work with you if you can sell. Countries don't need your box office. So if another capital city rumor hits, if another place is said to be backing away, the message becomes louder. The world isn't buying what she's selling anymore. And then you get the next layer, career plans. People talk about fashion rebrands, luxury lines, TV presence, new projects. But industries watch controversy like a weather report. They don't care about your feelings, they care about risk. And if every move you make drags a storm behind it, potential partners start asking one simple question. Will I be next? Will my company become the battlefield? Will my brand be the target? Will my staff get dragged into this? Will my event turn into a headline war? That's the real consequence of being permanently controversial. Because even people who like you start keeping you at arm's length, because liking you privately is easier than defending you publicly. So the rumor says she's talking to crisis PR firms, that she's trying to repair damage, that she's planning a new narrative. Maybe. But here's the brutal truth about narratives. You can't force the audience to feel what you want them to feel. You can try, you can push, you can plant, you can polish, but when the public mood shifts, it shifts. And that's what this moment is being framed as, a mood shift. From sympathy to suspicion, from wow, she's brave, to why is there always drama? From they're telling their truth to why does the truth keep changing shape? Whether that's fair or not is another debate, but you can see it happening in real time. Now, let me pull back and say this clearly. None of us know the full private reality of Meghan's life. We don't. We know what gets reported, what gets denied, what gets hinted at, and what gets weaponized. But the reason these Dubai turned away and Saudi door closed rumors hit so hard is because they feel like something bigger than travel plans. They feel like a social verdict. And social verdicts are the ones that sting the most because they don't come with paperwork. They come with silence. They come with invitations that stop arriving, calls that don't get returned, doors that open for everyone else and stay closed for you. So if this is even partially true, even in the quiet behind-the-scenes sense, it signals that her name triggers caution in places that care more about controlled image than celebrity sparkle. And if it's not true, if it's exaggerated or invented, it still tells you something about the online climate. People are eager for a story where she finally runs out of runway. Either way, the pressure is real, because the conversation around her has become bigger than her actual actions. It's a machine now, a machine that feeds on conflict. And if you're her team, trying to steer a machine like that, it's like trying to steer a shopping cart with one broken wheel. You can push as hard as you want, it still drifts into chaos. All right, last thing, and then I'll let you go. If Meghan really is looking for a reset, the only reset that works isn't geographic, it's behavioral, it's silence, it's consistency. It's choosing one story and living it without constant counter-programming. Because if you keep fighting for the spotlight while claiming you want peace, people notice the contradiction, and the contradiction becomes the headline. So, what happens next? Do we get the Paris era? Do we get the quiet European retreat era? Do we get the sudden tell-all interview era where everything gets reframed again? Or do we get the most dramatic outcome of all? Nothing. Just a slow fade while the world moves on. Drop your prediction in the comments. I'm serious. I want to see who called it first. And if you made it all the way to the end, you already know what I'm about to say. Like the video if you want more deep dives like this, subscribe if you haven't, and share it with that friend who always says, I don't care about royals, while somehow knowing every detail. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you.